When me and Judd died on our mounted, or not when Judd died, when he started playing his alt character and I died, I would just stop and press my mount key for a few seconds and be like, why the fuck is nothing happening? Hi, babe. So yeah, you know, you gotta swallow that one, dude. It's tough. Losing the mount. Thank you, babe. What is this? Mocha? Real coffee, I can feel it. What's your slash blade? And bum bum bum. Warmed, it says. What the fuck does grilled cheese warmed mean? Huh? What do you think that means exactly? How do you make a grilled cheese without it being warm? That's crazy. What do you think that means? Oh shit. They literally put on the receipt that they microwaved their shit, basically, man. What the fuck? W Chippy. Yeah, she's alright. She's beautiful. She's shaking her head at me right now. Yo, Plump, what level's your Warlock now, man? And did you see Ozzy die in his 58 Warrior, bro? Ah, wait! There's no sharks in Menethil. Don't worry, in Menthar. 36, man. Just hit it today. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah, brother. Daddy is back online. Full-time job. Hashtag overtime. I told you guys 10 years ago. Yeah, listen. You don't... Listen, Caroline says don't call me daddy, okay? She says not allowed. Yeah, I told you guys like 11 years ago. The day I quit my job that I was going to treat this like a full-time job. Man, it's easy as hell to do that, I'll be honest.
Help you find something?
It's not been hard to do.
Farewell.
Wake up, put pajamas on, play video games. Shit, man. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the dude here. We're going... Badlands. Blasted Lands. Badlands. Some sort of area below Lochmadon.
Hey there. Safe travels.
I don't have... Okay, listen, guys. I will use the mount, okay? I keep forgetting. Because I just got it. I've been running around for 42 levels. I forgot that I have assistance now. Did you give the cat a name? No. Yeah, it's called my mount. My taxi service, man. Point A to point fucking B, dude. Making the run, level 13, from Menethil to Iron Forge. Crocolis on the left and the right. Oh no. Good luck, yo. You got the orcs there too in this little opening. Better hope that they don't see you. They throw nets and they're dual-wielding swords. My mount is now named Max. Okay. There we go. Someone's mount's named Max.
Confirmed.
It's Max.
He said the first thing he does when he wakes up is put pajamas on.
Well, you can put pajamas over a pair of boxers. What are you talking about? Briefs? Whitey tighties? Anything. Yeah. I sleep in basketball shorts. That's like my jam. Like that type, those type of shorts. They're like the most comfortable for me. They don't like really tug anywhere. It kind of feels like I don't really, like I'm not wearing anything while I sleep with them. Everything else, like boxers and shit, it's like feel constricted. Like I can't fucking like slam my legs open if I want to, or like, you know what I mean, all sorts of shit. It's like, basketball shorts, like they're, you know, they're obviously designed to just be fucking moving anywhere. Chat, come on, why you gotta make it all weird and shit, man? You know, like when you're fucking tossing and turning in bed, what do you guys sleep with your fucking legs closed all fucking night, huh? You weirdos.
Wait, what?
You keep them glued together or what, man?
I'm confused. They don't wear underwear?
Nah. They're just making fun of me because I say it, because I was saying that I slam my legs when I want to like move my legs around or like move my legs open or something, like spread them out, or, you know what I mean? Hang it off the side of the bed, whatever. They're just being weird. That's everything that sounds sexual gets a little emo. You know what I'm saying? Listen, to the dirty mind, everything. 50% of U.S. word or American words are, I mean, English words. America.
That's big dick.
Let me just. Ay, dude. Listen, I know that there's other countries on the planet, okay, and continents and shit. Speak American. Oh man. Okay, we're heading out to Badlands. Or Blastlands, whatever fucking which one it is.
He knows the continent in World of Warcraft.
Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms, baby.
In the world of Warcraft.
The world of Warcraft. That's all that matters. Northrend, yeah, I mean, well, bro, we're playing classic, dude, okay? Chill, man, chill. Where's your fucking, break RP, man? My immersion. I'm in an RP server right now, okay, dude? My guy hasn't seen anything outside of fucking, he doesn't even know Ragnos exists. I won't have you speak his name, alright? Wait, I just did. Well, I mean, I was OOC right there. Okay? I was OOC right there. Updating you guys. Alright, we're back in character. I expect you guys to do the same. Shit, man. Poland's not valuing his character's life. Looking to get him banned from the server pretty soon. Talking to the admins. Died like 8 times. Clear OOC, please. Yeah.
Babe.
Yeah, babe. Hold on. I guess, like, we're gonna go out of our way for these a little bit, right? By the way, our guy's fucking strong right now. We've had some seriously good drops for this character, and he's fucking uber strong. I'm not really sure why exactly, besides the gear, you know what I mean? I don't remember feeling this strong on my gnome. Whirlwind Axe now. Listen, guys, I don't know if you're Horde players or what, dude, but we don't fucking as Alliance players, we don't fuck with Whirlwind Axe, man, okay? We go straight to Bonebiter, dogs. Better than Whirlwind Axe. Easier to get, less time consuming, bro. It's in a quest, it's guaranteed. Bam, bam. Don't waste your time on the Whirlwind Axe if you're Alliance. However, when official hardcore WoW servers come out, I think everybody wants to go Horde, so my dumbass has to farm it. Fuck. To be honest, they're not that much different, though. Whirlwind Axe is pretty much the same, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, Bonebiter is a little bit better, but it's minute. You know what I mean? The differences. Whoops. Swapped a little too early there. Good luck, sir. They announced a new Sea of Thieves expansion called The Legend of Monkey Island. Wait, are you trolling me? I feel like I'm getting trolled. No, it's actually real. Oh, no shit. So wait, is this like, is it gonna be like, just like a normal expansion? Like our normal update like they do monthly and shit? Or is this supposed to be like, they're actually doing big changes, like map changes and like fucking ship changes and like crazy shit? It's just an update then, bro. I mean, that's nothing to be excited about, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's probably some stuff to get excited about within it, but... it's its own story. It's just PvE stuff. What does Pace think about it? If Pace thinks it's good, you know what I mean, then we'll be good. Fuck, I don't have the I can't put sweeping strikes on. We'll do this. Bam. Hit him with that first. Then we'll sweeping strikes. Then we'll do this. There's no need for it anymore. I basically killed both of them. I worked so hard to get a sweeping strikes there, I didn't even need to do it. We gotta watch out for this motherfucking bird who's gonna be trying to catch us riding dirty in this area. How you feeling about Payday 3? I think Payday 3 will be fun. I really enjoyed Payday 2 a lot. I put a lot of time into doing solo stealth runs in Payday 2. Dude, solo stealth runs are fucking fun, man. Solo stealth runs are fucking fun. It's like, that was the thing I fell in love with. Like, robbing a bank without anybody even fucking knowing you were there, dude. That's what I loved about Sea of Thieves too. It's probably a good reason. Like, taking someone's fucking chest off their ship without them even knowing they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Good shit. That was a bad kiss. I didn't want to make a big noise though. Sound. Yeah, I tried to. I was like, I think my lips kind of sucked in. Bro, listen, why you guys gotta be weird about everything, man? I can't even be myself in front of you guys anymore, dudes. What's going on?
Love the streams and the WoW content. Just came across this old GTA RP Casino Park clip.
Oh, you dead. Ooh, whiff on the execute. I love the streams and WildCon. Came across this old GTRP casino art clip. Alright, brothers. You came back, huh, Mr. What the fuck is that 11 stack, guys?
Give me baby one more time.
Give me, baby, one more time.
Guys are just 1 in 38 numbers you guys want for that much money.
Come on, tomato woman!
Cool.
Yes!
Oh
I'm
my
a billionaire!
What?
It finally is hot! Oh my god, I'm rich!
That was hot.
18 million fucking dollars!
a fucking asshole. Fucking Coil. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing many of you have likely heard of Ivan Milat, quite possibly one of the most notorious Australian criminals. If you haven't, then I shall give a brief summary, as this case will be focusing on somebody else. Ivan Milat was found guilty of murdering 2 men and 5 women in Australia between 1989 and 1992. The bodies were discovered in Belangolo State Forest, a 9,400-acre wood in New South Wales. Ivan is often referred to as the backpacker killer due to his victims being backpackers. It is also believed that he killed many more people, although he did proclaim his innocence till the day he passed away from cancer, aged 74. What some people don't know is that Ivan had a great nephew named Matthew, and Matthew idolized his great uncle. He had plans to make the family name even more notorious than it already was. This case takes place in New South Wales, Australia, on the 20th of November, 2010. Matthew Millman was born in December of 1993, and as I said earlier, was the great-nephew of Ivan Milat. Those who knew Matthew would later say that he would often brag to people about who his uncle was, and would even tell them shortly after meeting them. He would also enjoy going to the Belangolo State Forest, so he could look at the memorial dedicated to the victims, taking pride in what his uncle had done. After the murders of Ivan came to light, a number of his family members decided to change their last names as to no longer be associated with such a twisted individual. Matthew, on the other hand, was disappointed that he didn't share the name, so he changed his second name to Milat. Many people who knew of Matthew were of course very wary of him. But despite being a rather unsavoury individual, Matthew did have some friends and hung around with a group of lads, and one of these lads was 16-year-old David Occhialoni. David was described as a popular young man who could on occasion be a little too trusting of people that he should be wary of, and Matthew was one of those people. David's grandma recalled a time when she saw an altercation between David and Matthew outside her home. She ran out and told Matthew to leave. Matthew walked up to her, got in her face, and tried to intimidate her before turning around and leaving. She said that after this, on a number of occasions, Matthew would drive past her house in an attempt to scare her. But as I said, David could be a little too trusting, so he and Matthew made up shortly after this. And now we arrive to the 20th of November 2010. This day was David's 17th birthday. He woke up that morning and spent the day with his mother and grandparents. He had a couple of beers with his grandfather and enjoyed some birthday cake. Later on into the afternoon, David had plans to meet some of his friends. These friends were Cohen Klein, Chase Day, and Matthew Melat. The four went to grab something to drink and smoke. Matthew then told the group that they should all go to the Belangolo State Forest so the police wouldn't be able to stop them from drinking. And so they did. They all got into a car and began driving to the forest. The plan was to go and enjoy some drinks together to celebrate David's birthday, but Matthew had a far more sinister plan. That night, David didn't come home. At the time, he was living with his grandparents. They were concerned about him and tried to contact him, but when he failed to come home in the following days, they contacted the police and reported David missing. However, it wouldn't take long to find out what exactly had happened. On the 22nd of November, Chase Day spoke to his father. He told him that something truly horrific had happened to David and that he needed to come clean. His father brought him into the station and he began talking with investigators. Chase told them that Matthew had killed David in an incredibly cruel and brutal way. The story he told goes as follows. On the 20th, the four drove into the forest in Matthew's car. Once in the forest, Matthew got out of the car and walked towards the boot. He then shouted for David to come out and join him at the rear of the car. Chase then recalled hearing David scream. Matthew had hit David in the ribs with a large double-sided axe. He witnessed David run around the car away from Matthew, who was still wielding the weapon. David pleaded with Matthew not to harm him, but he didn't want to listen. Chase then got out of the car and pleaded with Matthew to stop hurting David, but he was powerless to stop him. Matthew turned around and began to swear at him, telling him to get back into the car and mind his own business. Matthew got David onto the ground and began toying with him. He made him lie down face into the dirt and accused him of talking about him behind his back. As David pleaded with Matthew, he swung the axe down upon him a number of times. After killing him, Matthew dragged his body into the bush to hide him. After hiding the body, Matthew got back into the car with Chase and Cohen and proceeded to drive home. Chase recalled Matthew being incredibly excited at what he had done. Matthew told them that killing David was such a rush for him. Shortly after this horrific confession, both Matthew and Cohen were arrested and brought into the station for questioning. Meanwhile, a search team was set out to find David. It didn't take them long to find his body. David's grandparents were then tasked with identifying David's body. Cohen was questioned, and right away he tried to play the victim. He said he did indeed witness the crime taking place, but that he was terrified of Matthew and could do nothing to stop him. The investigators weren't quite convinced of his innocence. His home was searched, and there they found a mobile phone. This device was soon to be searched. Meanwhile, Matthew was also being questioned, but he refused to speak and just said, "No comment." His home was also searched, and there they found a pair of shoes that had blood on them. These shoes were later tested, and it was confirmed that the blood was David's. Both Matthew and Cohen were charged with murder, and Chase was charged as an accessory. The mobile that was found in Cohen's home was thoroughly searched, and on it, the police found a deleted file. The file was recovered, and it turned out it was a recording of the final moments of David's life. They found out that Matthew taunted him for some time before killing him, reveling in David's fear and accusing him of things that he had never done. They also found that Chase was telling the truth. While Cohen filmed what was happening, Chase did try to stop it. He begged Matthew to stop hurting David, but this resulted in Matthew becoming angry. As long as Matthew had the axe, Chase could do nothing, so he just got back into the car as he was told. An extract from the recording recovered from Cohen's mobile phone goes as follows. Matthew, look at the dirt. Don't look at me, look at the dirt. David begins to cry. Matthew, keep looking at me and I'll cut your head off. Look at the ground. Tell me, is it true you've been going around telling people about my affairs? David, it's not true, Matt. Matthew, shut up. Put your hands down next to your face. Are you gonna keep meddling with me? David, no I won't, I swear to God. Matthew, how do I know that? David, we've been mates for ages. My word is good. I swear to God to you, dude, I never said anything about you. Matthew, I really don't believe you, alright? David, man, I give you my word. I would not. Matthew, yeah, you've given me your word, and your word isn't good enough. It's after this exchange that the sound of the axe hitting David's head can be heard, and then the recording ends. The murder and the 15 minutes leading up to it was hauntingly captured on an audio recording from Cohen's mobile phone. David was being submissive the entire time and tried his best to defuse the situation. Following this revelation, the charges against Chase were dropped, and he was asked to give evidence at the trial, to which he agreed. Before the trial would take place, the investigators recovered the murder weapon from a body of water inside the forest. Matthew was also evaluated by a mental health professional. It was found that he suffered from no conditions that would have caused him to commit such a horrific crime. The trial began, and it said that Matthew showed little emotion and just kept his head down.
It's one of the most notorious names in our criminal history. Now, the Milat family has another killer in its ranks. Matthew Milat, a relative of Ivan the serial killer, killed a mate in the Belanglo State Forest, the same place his uncle tortured and executed 7 backpackers.
Today, for the first time, we can show you the face of teenage murderer Matthew Milat. Cohen Klein is his mate, and both have pleaded guilty to the axe murder of their one-time friend David Octoloni. David's family fronted court today as a judge decides the penalty for the killers. It was David's birthday, November 20 in 2010, when Milat and Klein lured him into the Belanglo State Forest, the same killing fields used by Matthew's uncle, Ivan Milat.
Both Matthew and Cohen were found guilty of murder. No motive for what happened was found. It just seemed that Matthew wanted to kill. Matthew was sentenced to 43 years in prison. He has since tried to appeal his sentence, but so far he has been unsuccessful. Cohen was sentenced to at least 22 years with a maximum 32-year term. He too has appealed his sentence, and he was successful. His sentence was reduced.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be trying something different. Today I'm going to try a bit of a multiple choice type game show interactive thing. I've never really done this before. I'm just going to have a crack. If you like it, let me know. If you don't, then I won't do it again. But today the topic is killing the Nexus. So what I've noticed is that, especially with Platinum 2 and above clients, people are quite bad at ending the game. Like, they can get a lead, they can get ahead, then they might know their matchups, they have decent early game fundamentals, they know their champ's identity, but when push comes to shove, they're in the 15 minutes, 15 minutes onwards in the game, and they've got to make a few pivotal decisions, they start to crumble. They struggle to think about the game holistically, And the most important thing is I don't even know how to get better at it. So the goal with this video is to give you guys a little bit of a cheat sheet or a process in order to get better at the skill of what I call killing the Nexus. So before we get into the examples, I want to set the scene with a little bit of an analogy to help you guys understand what the hell we're talking about here. So I view winning a game of League of Legends, or in this case, killing the Nexus, kind of like traveling to a destination in real life. So let's say I was planning my trip from Sydney to New York. I understand that there are many ways I can get there. I could get there via boat. I could do multiple stopovers in different countries. I could do a direct flight. I'm going to take a different path depending on what my goals are and what my current situation is. Let's say I have a baby. I might not want to do a direct flight because maybe the flight's too long. I might want to stop off at multiple countries. Or maybe I'm with my partner and then, or it's a business trip, or whatever the hell the situation is, or I got a goddamn cat with me, whatever the situation is, I'm going to pick a path that I feel works for me given the circumstance. It's the exact same thing in League. Sure, we're all there to kill the Nexus, but given the tools and the situation you're within, you know, maybe your teammates' tendencies, their mental states, the composition you have, what happened in the early game, everything changes the way you need to go about winning the game. And I don't believe that there is this one most optimal path to win the game. It depends on what server you're on, you know, what rank you're at, what your interpretation of your champ's identity is. There are many, many ways to win the game. So this is a skill that we all need to develop in our own unique way. So lastly, before we get into the clips, one thing you need to understand is that yes, theoretically, every move you make in the game is a decision. But when we're talking about killing the Nexus, we only want to highlight the pivotal, game-changing decisions in the mid-game. The ones that leave you feeling, wow, that was big. You know, like a massively wrong lane assignment, or you're getting late to a big fight, or it felt like you just weren't doing anything in a particular moment, even though the game pace was increasing. Like these big pivotal moments where you left feeling very confused, or you weren't very high impact. They're the ones that we're going to be looking at today. Let's go ahead and take a look at some examples. So here we are with the first example, and welcome to my game show here. I am your host, Coach Curtis. Today, we're going to be starting with the Vel'Koz game. We are the Vel'Koz in this situation. We are 5-1, very beefy, got 2.5 items. You know, our Akali's absolutely popping off on top side. You know, 10-2 Akali, annihilating this Jax. One thing you can see is that we do have triple AP, right? We got Lux support, both, you know, we're probably the main carries here, and we're all AP. And we're using a Kassadin. Kassadin and a Jax. Jax has started to get that MR. So even though we are ahead definitively, we're not, you know, the game isn't over. The enemy actually have 2 dragons as well. So let's lay out the facts, guys. Number 1, the enemy is beginning to stack MR. The enemy, so our team, has no TP available. I believe Akali's TP was down. Kassadin is very much scaling. Baron is up. We are nearly 25 minutes in the game, and we just finished Dragon. Okay, in this situation. And it turns into this. This is the kind of the game state we're in. We kind of hover mid after that dragon. We just finished up that dragon there. And as you can see, Akali's kind of went off onto bot side. We've kind of got like a bit of a 4-1 situation here. Jax is off on that top side. So that's where we're at, okay? And remember, before we get into the options here, I'm picking random moments, random what I call pivotal moments, out of a bunch of games from some of my clients inside the Mid Lane Academy. These are just random situations at a wide variety of differing ranks. And it's important that, you know, I'm not going to get into the rank differentials in this video, but if you're in Master Tier and we're talking about macro game and pivotal mid-game decisions, it's going to be very different if we're in gold, right? So this one specifically was actually in Master Tier, but again, I don't want to get too specific into that. I just want to go over more the overarching process here. So anyway, here are your options. You know, this is where you would insert the drum roll. Number 1, siege mid with Akali, maybe splitting bot, so maybe some form of like 4-1 scenario, leave the Jax to do whatever topside. Group onto the Akali and do maybe some form of like a siege bot side. I mean, the danger with that one maybe would be that they could just trade off their bot side and maybe just go straight to Baron. Call for Baron vision topside and control topside jungle. Seems pretty solid. Option 4, start Baron instantly. Play for like a finish or a flip. And I'm pulling some of these options out of my ass here, guys. Some of them are terrible. Some of them, you know, are close. Option 5, split top. Maybe do a 1-3-1. Maybe we go top, get Akali to go bot. We do some form of a 1-3-1. Maybe a little bit risky given the enemy have a Shaco. You know, some chaos could start. But it does actually allow us to utilize the Kha'Zix strong side landing gank threat, sorry. Option 6, try split. maybe call for a hover topside. So maybe we move on to topside, call our Kha'Zix to hover us topside. Again, maybe like turns into like a 2-2-1 or something like that. We could also just shove out and go for a reset, get our item, which is we nearly got our Sonya's, I believe. Or we can just do nothing, which is actually what most of the time, most of the clients that I work with in mid-game, they don't make a decision. They just go with the flow and whatever happens, happens. Okay? So what we're going to do, we'll take a look at what this guy, this Vel'Koz, does in this situation, and then we'll come back and then we can go over the options. And remember, select an option in your head before we go through this, you know, and as we go through this next clip, select an option, see what you would have done, and then that way you can have get more value from this video. As you can see here, we've just finished up the dragon. Akali's moving her way bot side. We move mid. So it's turning into a little bit of like 4-1, but there Jax is top side. The Nautilus and Shaco are looking for an engagement onto the Ezreal and Lux. They don't end up getting it. We end up doing some nice little poke to disengage. Now, it looks like here, Akali was spam pinging on my way bot, maybe wanting everyone to go bot and follow it. I don't really know what the call is here. It looks like everyone's scattered all over the place. Jax is hitting away on that top side. We decide to follow up on this Akali as Vel'Koz, roaming through the jungle, walking through a trillion Shaco, AP Shaco traps. We try to get some damage down to peel the Akali, but we're kind of getting railed from the side here. We get caught off guard. We try to flash out. We get assassinated, essentially. Kassadin comes in, picks up a 500 gold shutdown onto you. Akali also dies, giving a shutdown to the Kai'Sa. And we basically just got aced. So we went from being in a very commanding position to Jax now basically getting 2 towers top, basically getting ace. And that actually could even be Baron as well, to be honest with you. Okay? So now that we've seen what actually happened, let's go back to the drawing boards and figure out what the best option might have been. So something to remember, you know, when you're playing the game yourself, you're in this situation, you don't have time to take a step back and be like, okay, everyone pause, everyone stop moving. Let me think about this and then I'll make a decision. You don't have the ability to do that, right? We gotta make a split-second decision. And so when you're playing, I recommend just having a crack. Whatever feels best for you based off your current kind of, I guess, your take on the game, go with it. And then we can review later on. And this is something I'll touch on later, but try not to overcomplicate it. This sort of review where we're really weighing up the alternatives, visualizing what would happen in different situations, this is all in the post-game review. This is not something you do in the game itself. This is a post-game tool or post-game process, if you want to call it that. So going back to the options here. You know, look, I think we could do this, option 1, like siege mid, like a 4-1 scenario with like Akali trying to get that bot tier 2, and then we kind of push out mid. I don't mind that, because, I mean, we're still relatively close to the Baron, so they can't do the Baron. We have a relatively good siege with the Ezreal Vel'Koz. So, I mean, it's not terrible. I guess it's somewhat viable, easy to execute. The only problem is that Jax would be banging away there, so we could just probably trade that off for that. I'm happy with that. Group onto the Akali siege bot. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's too dangerous. I don't think this is that valuable. You know, I don't want to give access to this tower as well. If we all collapse, then we might give mid tower. I'm not a big fan of that one. I like this one. I really like option 3. This would be probably my go-to. I think straight after this, I'd be spam pinging assistance here. And the reason being is that as Vel'Koz, as my champion, if I'm a Vel'Koz, I want the enemy to come to me. I don't want to walk to the enemy, right? Vel'Koz, when you're playing a lot of these mages, it feels really bad to have to walk cross country, you know, across the map to go to someone else, and you're just running through traps, or you're getting flanked, you're leaving yourself exposed. I want the enemy to come to me, right? So this is tying back to my champion's identity and our composition. We want people to come to us. We've got the Lux, we've got the Ezreal, come to us. So if we were to control topside, so we just shove our mid and then we move topside, get a little bit of vision, maybe prevent Jax from getting that top tower, or even just collect the wave that he shoved out. And then ideally, in my opinion, in a perfect world, Akali moves over here, and then we try to bait Baron, make a pick with our Lux or your E, whatever, utilizing Fog of War, making the enemy come to us, and, you know, do something like that. I don't like the idea of playing bot side here, especially, I don't want to move as Vel'Koz. I want the enemy to come to me. And then we might be able to buy time for Akali to get that TP up. And once she has TP, she can do whatever she wants. So I like the idea of this. I definitely don't want to start Baron and flip it. I mean, we don't really have a tank, so we can't do that. I hate 1-3-1ing in solo queue. I think it's unreliable, too theoretical, and never ends up working, especially when the enemy has a Nautilus and a Shaker or a lot of engage. Doesn't really feel that smart to me. You could theoretically kind of shove out top, call for hover top side, try and break this. But that would only be possible if like a Kali moved over here, so that's questionable. And shove out and reset, low value. You don't need the gold, don't need the items. And do nothing. I mean, the El Clasico, which is kind of what we did here, just go with the flow, didn't work out too well, did it? So I would say for me, I would go with option 3. I think that option 1 is also relatively viable. I'm sure there are people out there that would do option 2. So, you know, for me, I think these two are completely fine. I'd love to hear your comments, guys. You know, see your comments in the section. See what you guys think for each of these examples. That's just my opinion. Something to note, this isn't Master Tier. I believe it's EUNE. And not that it really makes too much of a difference. So people are probably more inclined to listen to comms. In gold, you probably want to keep it very, very simple. And I'd probably even do number 1 if I'm in gold. But if it's in Master Tier, probably number 3. So definitely, hopefully this gets you guys thinking and this is the sort of exercise I do with my own mid games. A lot of the time I go into a mid game pivotal decision and I'll sit there. I might sit there for a few minutes and be like, what are my options here? What are all the options that I could potentially take? And I start to visualize what would happen if I did that? What would happen if I did that? And this process allows me to develop a much more sophisticated understanding of the game. So here we are at example 2. Congratulations, you made it to round 2 of the game show. We are the Echo in this situation. A bit of a unique one in the sense that we've got Kayle that's very far ahead of this Rumble. 3 levels up, killing it on 2 items, nearly borderline 3 items. Zach, 4 levels behind the Kayn. So Kayn's pretty out of control here. Bot lane relatively even, maybe slightly favored towards them. We're CSing okay, but we haven't even got 2 items yet. The enemy have 3 dragons. So laying out the facts very quickly, we're 23 minutes into the game. Baron is up. Kayle is online, up 3 levels, but does not have TP available. We have TP, which is something to note. Enemy has relatively slow Baron. Kayn is up 4 levels, so we can't really rely on a steal. And the enemy has relatively poor engage. Okay, so getting into the options here. Option 1, we could theoretically, coming out of base, we could go bot and tell Kayle to go top and group, given we're the ones with TP. That's completely viable. I don't mind that one. Option 2, let Kayle split bot, and then if they go to her and they try to collapse onto the Kayle, maybe we can maybe start Baron in that situation. We could shadow behind the Kayle, and then if someone collapses onto the Kayle, we can take that 2v2 or 3v2, and if they start Baron, like I can TP the Baron to try and defend anyway. Split topside, maybe do some sort of like a 1-3-1, like a 1-3-1 and then classic 1-3-1, given the enemy doesn't have too much engage. We could 4-1 and group with the team and then get a little bit of control, let Kayle split push bot side. We could also ARAM all together and maybe brute force a Baron, given that we probably win 5v5 at this stage with the fed Kayle, or we can just do nothing, El Clasico. So let's take a look at what this Echo does. A very interesting situation. So here we are coming out of base. It looks like the Kayn spawned the Rift on top side. Kayle's waddling bot side, looking to potentially split bot side. Echo on the way through decides to do the Krugs. Rumble shows mid. So that means Rumble's not reacting bot. Karma's definitely not going to be reacting bot side. So no one's going bot. And the rest of the team goes missing. They're not showing on that bot ward there or anything there. No one's showing topside or mid, essentially. And it looks like Kayle realizes that the enemy could just be brute forcing Baron. So Kayle starts waddling her way up through bot river, actually getting Scuttle on the way through for some reason. And the enemy just start Baron. Now in this situation, remember, our jungler is down 3 levels. He's level 11 to Kayn level 14. But for some reason, Kayn missed the smite. We're able to come in, create a little bit of space. Probably a little bit of an unnecessary ultimate there from the Echo. Now Kayle is officially at the fight. And it looks like, given we got the Baron, the game looks pretty free here. Because that was their only way of really winning, in my opinion. So if we actually take a look at this, this was a classic example of a situation where we just got lucky, right? We just got lucky that our Zac, 3 levels down, somehow outsmited the Kayn, and then we bought enough time for Kayle to get to the fight, and we were able to somewhat clean up. In an alternate reality, maybe Kayle doesn't recognize that they're starting the Baron, or Kayn hits a smite, they all disengage, and then we just have to deal with them getting Baron, and then they've stalled out the game, and who knows, maybe the game can can be, you know, much closer than it could have been. Something to keep in mind before we go back into the options, it's important that we understand the mindset of the enemy. One of the big things I'm going to talk about in a future video is understanding how the enemy would think. So you may think, well, this is very random. Why would they not react to bot, or why would they make this decision? If you were Kayn in this situation, if you look at this, well, your comp has very little engage, right? They can't really brute force and engage on anyone outside of like a flash stun or so. That's not realistic. But they do have a relatively good team fight, right? They got AoE ultimates with the Sona, they got the Rumble ult, they got the Karma to peel the Kayn, you know, you've got the MF ult, you've got a lot of AoE ultimates. You definitely want to team fight in some capacity. You don't want to deal, no one can deal with this. This guy especially cannot deal with that. He's 3 levels down. That's not going to happen. So your best bet, honestly, is to try and flip a team fight. If they could get that Baron, they could stall that game out, which might buy them time to even steal that as well, because Kayn's going to be still higher level. You know, and maybe the game's very different. So I actually respect the hell out of the call that they made. So let's just not even worry about the KO. Let's just straight flip the Baron, or not even a flip in this case. It's just a straight one fight, because again, Kayn should never miss a smite. So this makes sense. So when we're going over VODs, and we're about to weigh up our alternatives, and you know, that's great. We need to look at the game through our lens, but it's important to take a look at how would the enemy be feeling in this situation? Why did they make the decision they did? A lot of the time when I'm going through my mid game and I look at it, I'm like, in the game it didn't make sense, but with, you know, being objective about it, removing my emotions, maybe looking at the day after, I'll be like, of course they did that. That actually makes a lot of sense. Like if I'm Kayn, I'm probably going to make a similar call. So, you know, you got to drop your ego, you got to drop whatever narrative that you have, and try to look at things from their perspective. Look at it from their perspective, right? Get out of your own head. You're not the center of the universe, you know? So let's go back to the options and see what the best choice might have been. Something to keep in mind, guys, when we're going through these options is that, like, when I say let's figure out what the best choice is, that might be the best choice for me in my server. If I were to play this champion, you know, with players that I'm somewhat familiar with. It's hard for me to objectively say what is the best. I can give you, like, I can narrow it down and remove things and say, oh yeah, it could be that or that. But a lot of the time, going back to the analogy I said at the start of the video about like the plane trip, it really depends on what your interpretation is of your champion, how you visualize winning the game. You know, I think that here, you know, I probably would have told Kayle to go top and me go bot. That's probably what I would have done, because I would want Kayle to be with the team. She's really strong. And I know no one can match me anyway. I could beat Rumble at this stage. I can shove in Karma. I have the TP advantage. So if I made anyone react bot, it would be a win-win. That's probably the easiest to execute. But, you know, in an alternate reality, any of these probably still work, as we saw here. If we were more aware of what the enemy could do, and we spotted them out on the Baron earlier, we could have easily done like a 4-1, or even like this 1-3-1, because the enemy doesn't have much engage, and just be more cognizant of them starting Baron. And because their Baron isn't overly that fast, Kayle would have had ample time to walk up, and we could have screwed with him, because you can go in, create space with the W, waste time, buy time for Kayle to get there. So note how both of them are actually completely viable. This probably would have worked. This could have worked if executed well. This probably could have worked if executed well. Many of these things could have worked if executed well. This one probably maybe not as much, because again, you wouldn't have been able to get there to get those wards down. But and you know, this one as well was technically that one as well. So a lot of them are relatively similar. But yeah, I want to get across the point that it's hard to objectively say that the one play is the best. It just depends on, it really depends on the mindset of the enemy and what you think they would do and what they would do at that rank on that server. So again, I want you guys to just be very curious and very open-minded in these situations. But, you know, to be really decisive for me, I would have done number one. But I think a lot of these are actually quite viable. And again, I would love to hear your take on example number 2 in the comments below. Welcome to round 3. This time we are the Fiddle. Yes, this is a Fiddlesticks mid, and yes, I do coach a Fiddlesticks mid in the mid lane academy. As you can see here, we have a 0-4-0 Yi, not too hot. We have a weird situation in top lane where Mordekaiser's 0-1, but he's actually up like borderline 60 CS. So even though this Kayle is 3-0-4, this Mordekaiser's definitely not that far behind. Bot side, maybe a little bit behind as well. Shyvana's getting nice and beefy, and we're relatively even mid lane. And the enemy have 2 dragons. So in this situation, let's lay out the facts. We see Yi was actually moving bot side on our team, kind of moving bot side, hovering bot, maybe looking for a gank or something. We decided not to really continue to hover here. Top was behind in kills, but was way up in CS, like I said before, and actually just got a big shutdown onto the Kayle, which is amazing. So Kayle's actually dead. He got a 300 gold shutdown. Yi is very far behind and useless, as we mentioned, and Ari is actually still missing. We didn't know where she is, and she might be committing bot side here. Okay? So it eventually turns into this situation where we go back mid, Yi goes bot, they try to counter gank. The Ari and the Shyvana are now hovering on bot side try and looking to maybe collapse or do something for something bot side. Remember, Kayle's still dead. So we've got many options here, okay? Option one, we could theoretically try to salvage whatever is happening bot and try to collapse and maybe defend bot lane or whatever. We do have ultimate. But something to keep in mind, we're on 1070 gold. And so we have our mythic gold, we have our Luden's gold here. So we're actually not that strong without our Ludens at this point in time, something to keep in mind. And also the problem with option one, it can be a little bit risky. If we move down and they collapse, we might get pincered, or like, you know, we don't know exactly what they're doing, especially if they sweep that ward right now. We don't know if they're going to turn onto us or if they're committing or anything. That's a very risky play. We could shove out mid, try and go for plates. We could shove out mid and actually just straight reset for a mythic and use it as a good reset window. We could actually split the map fully, trade off our bot side, and actually make a dive play top side, right? We could actually just move over here and try to kill Kayle as she comes back to lane. That's a very spicy one. We could maybe shove out and take enemy raptors, maybe alongside plates, or in this case not plates, just tower damage. Or we could do the El Clasico, the do nothing special. Okay, so a lot of options here. Let's get into the review to see what this guy did. So as you can see here, Ari showed on bot try. Fiddle decided not to collapse bot. Maybe he think it was too risky or whatever. Or maybe didn't want to make a play without Ludens. Checks out the Raptors. Decides to hover top side and check out Krugs, I think. Krugs are down as well. So he doesn't really shove out mid. Then he waddles back mid lane. Bot lane ends up getting dove. Raptors do come back up. Does the Raptors. They push all the way to tier 2. He ends up shoving out mid. And then tries to stay for mid tower here. Looks like he gets mid tower. And he's sitting on 1800 gold here. And Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. And then he decides to make a play onto the Shyvana without having spent his gold, and then Shyvana just escapes. So what we got, you know, really looking at it objectively, I think we got a Raptor camp, we got a tower, and we probably denied maybe 2 waves from the Ari. Okay? That's kind of what happened here. So let's go back to the options and break this one down. So breaking down the options, guys, you know, look, I really don't like number 1. I think it's too risky. I mean, I think if you move down and then they go missing, it can easily be a waste of time. And look, yes, I do think being reactive in League at times is appropriate. I just think in this situation, especially since the year 0-3 or something, he's kind of useless. I'd much prefer to make a proactive play elsewhere. And especially since this Mordekaiser just got a 300 gold shutdown, it was up like 60-70 CS, I'd rather make plays around this Mordekaiser who's likely going to be our win condition. So for me, it's very obvious what the decision is. It's 100% option 4. Split the map, screw bot lane, play away from that Yi. We've got a juicy win con on top side. Shove out mid, maybe get 1 more wave, and then park yourself in this position right here. Use the blast cone. Tell this guy to stay. Ult the Kayle as she's coming back to lane. She highly likely doesn't have ultimate anyway because she just got solid killed by the Mordekaiser. And then you dive her and you kill her. Or she'll actually die before she even gets to the tower and you kill her.
It's not about the killing.
And in that case, you've got a really, really good win con. Mordekaiser will be really far ahead. And it makes sense. It makes sense with the way this game will pan out. You and Mordekaiser can take over this game. Yes, it will come at the sacrifice of whatever's happening bot. And yes, it kind of sucks that you guys are both AP. But I think it's a very high impact play. I do think you could have also just fully committed to shoving out, getting the tower, taking Raptors, and then insta-resetting for Dragon. Like, I don't mind that. Spending your gold, insta-resetting, preparing for next Dragon. I don't mind that one as well. I think it's completely viable. But you definitely want to get something, whether it's trade the map or do something around here. I don't like the idea of reacting to bot side. I think it's risky. They could easily disengage. Then you get nothing and you miss an opportunity top side. If you felt as though bot lane was your win con, maybe the Ezreal Yuumi were the ones that were ahead, or maybe Yi was ahead, Mordekaiser was behind, yes, then I can see the merit behind potentially going bot, hovering bot, and preventing the dive and protecting your bot side. Even at the, maybe even making yourself quite vulnerable, I don't mind it, because it would be appropriate. It would make sense in reference to the win condition. But in this case, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So notice how I'm always thinking about the win condition as well. In a lot of these examples, it really depends on what the win condition is. And the win condition, your interpretation of the win condition is going to be different to a lot of other people. You know, it's so interesting. The last thing I will say here is that, you know, I've had many reviews with clients. I mean, I do high elo reviews, low elo reviews, but especially in my high elo reviews, sometimes with another GM client, we'll spend, you know, 10 minutes having a discussion about what we perceive to be the correct way to win the game, or who do you want to play for split, make yourself the win condition, or do you want to put those resources in someone else? There's no kind of overarching God kind of, you know, shining down being like, you guys are both wrong, it's this. No, I mean, we're trying to figure it out. We're both trying to have a crack. And I'm never holding on to my opinion. If I do this next time and it doesn't work, then it is what it is. It's just, you got to slowly, incrementally develop a more sophisticated understanding of the game by going through this process, visualizing alternatives. So this last one, we're in example 4, we are the victor. So as you can see, there's a few things. Our Alawi is fed as Fook. Their Vayne is quite beefy. Ezreal's actually on 2 items. I've got Muramana, which is good. Kayn is a little bit annoying. Blue Kayn with those 2 items can be quite annoying. But look, I would say our team is definitively ahead, kind of minus this 1 in 8 Lux. So we know Alawi is a Demon Lord. We know Baron is up. We're at 20 minutes now, 44 seconds. No one has TP available, and we know that the Kayn is quite scary, but we do have a stopping gear. We have a stopwatch. Okay? This is kind of setting the scene. And eventually turns into this. So let's go back. We just finished this dragon here. And it turns into this situation. So we kind of go over to the blue. Alawi kind of starts moving up top side. And we're in this situation here. So these are their options. We could maybe grab blue, reset, and then, you know, leaving that bot lane wave and maybe walk back bot after. We could catch bot directly after the dragon, shove it out. We could instantly reset, maybe get the blue then instantly reset, or just instant reset in general. We could grab the blue and stay on the map, maybe because we have a decent amount of, we don't have that much gold, we could theoretically stay on the map. We could grab the blue, reset after dragon, tell Alawi to go bot, or we could do nothing. Okay? These are our options here, in my opinion. Might be some more options, but I'll say these are the main ones at least. Okay? So let's take a look at what Daniel here does. So this is them cleaning up that little skirmish there. They end up securing the dragon. So what he does, straight after the dragon, he ends up seeing bot wave and going straight bot. So he goes straight bot here after that play. And he stays again for another wave. So skimming this forward a little bit. Then he goes to the blue. So then he went bot, got those, you know, 1.5 waves, 2 waves, and then grabs the blue. He's got no C pots left, and then resets. Okay. Let's take a look at what happens as a result of that. As a result, now no one is bot side. Alawi's now top side. Team gets caught out a little bit. He's forced to catch mid. And the game's turning into a little bit of a fiesta. Looks like Vayne was matching the Alawi top. No one is bot side. No one has DP. We're forced to try and collapse onto the Alawi. But Vayne is trying to shred down this Alawi. Luckily, this Alawi is a Demon Lord and survives the 1v3, but this could have easily been a flip. Okay, so now we have a bit of context. Let's actually go back and take a look at what I believe the most optimal choice was. So to quickly recap what Daniel did, after this dragon, he went bot, got this wave and the next wave. Then he went to blue, got the blue, then reset. Now, in my opinion, the main problem with this decision is that he then forces his Alawi to go to the top side of the map rather than bot side. Because, and I don't like that, because Alawi is your main win con. I believe that Alawi was like 8-0 or something, just really, really strong. She's like a Demon Lord, really, really strong. And the one person on the enemy team that can match Alawi at this stage is the Vayne. I believe Vayne was like 7-3. She has 2 items like Shield Bow, Rageblade. She's the only champion on the enemy team that can reliably deal with the Alawi. Even though Alawi doesn't have TP, it doesn't even matter, because she's the one that's going to be like dragging multiple members bot side, which is going to relieve pressure for you top and potentially give you guys a Baron angle. If we go bot, what that does is sends a signal to the Alawi that we want bot farm, that she should go top because she's just going to go to the nearest wave that's nearest wave to her. And then that's, then Vayne was able to match Alawi top side. And the reason that's good for the enemy is that Vayne's not being forced to the other side of the map, such that even if we were to go on top side to help the Alawi, that he's not dragging pressure anywhere, right? He's dragging pressure next to the Baron. So this is convenient for Vayne anyway. Vayne doesn't need to go to the wrong side of the map to deal with the Alawi. So in my opinion, if he actually either, I think he probably should have left this, or okay, he could do this. I think this one, option 5, grab blue, insta reset, replenish resources, get straight back at the map, maybe come by mid, hover top side, whatever, and tell Alawi to go bot. Tell Alawi to split push bot side. If Vayne were to go try and match Alawi, right? In that situation, then you guys get full control of top side because Vayne's like basically the only strong member top, and you guys might even be able to, just get something done, take their camps, whatever you need to do, get top tower, whatever. Alternatively, if Vayne shows top or mid or whatever, which is likely the case, then Alawi is just going to get free pressure on this tower, inevitably break that because no one can match that Alawi, and then she's going to be exerting max amount of pressure, and it seems really good. I mean, grabbing blue and resetting after dragon and walking back bot, definitely not an option. Catching bot after dragon and shoving it out, I mean, I don't like that for obvious reasons, like I said. Instantly resetting feels like a waste because you want to grab the blue near you. Grab blue and stay on the map. I think that's also okay if you really want to do that because you don't really need to reset, especially since you shouldn't be using any C-pots for this the blue buff anyway. And just tell Alawi to go bot straight away. So these are all, in my opinion, suboptimal. And this may seem like an obvious choice, right? A lot of people are saying, oh, of course, I'm not going to go bot side and tell Alawi to go bot. But in the heat of the moment, again, I see this time and time again, especially when you're ahead like this. I mean, the game feels good because you've got a 7-0 Alawi or whatever. People get complacent and they don't know what to do. Maybe they know what to do with the beauty of, the God's eye view, looking at the map and being able to sit here and analyze everything. But in the game, they don't make any decisions. A lot of the time, they'll go with do nothing, or they'll just default autopilot to the easiest thing or the most convenient thing near them, which in this case was for Daniel, which was bot lane farm. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper, guys. So at this stage, you might be wondering, Curtis, what the hell was the point of that entire exercise? Going over 4 random examples of situations I'm never really going to be in myself. Maybe I don't even play those champions, whatever. What's the point? Well, I wanted to show you what the process actually looks like. I mean, obviously, we're not going to sit there and draw out all in pretty colors what the options are, but that's the process we got to go through if we want to get better at the skill with these pivotal mid-game decisions. So what does the process look like? Number 1, we play the game with as much intention as possible and be willing to fail. Number 2, see the result of what you did. What is the result of the choice you made? If you wanted to really, go top in a specific situation and split the map or whatever, what bang for your buck did you get? What value out of your decision did you get? Then in the review, we need to visualize alternatives. What are the other alternative decisions that we could have made in this situation? Understanding that there were consequences for our actions. In League, there's no such thing as like, I make this decision and there's zero trade-off. There is always a consequence for your actions or a trade-off or an alternative because it's time and resources. You're always trading something off. And the last step is that we reflect, we understand it, it makes sense, okay, that makes sense, and we move and we execute again. And we do this again and again and again and again until we start to develop a very sophisticated understanding of the game. And do you need coaching to follow this process? No, it just speeds it up. And what I've found is that most people fail at this process for the following reasons. Number 1, they're lazy and they just don't want to get into the details, or they want someone else in the game to take control. Number 2, their ego is in the way. They want to shift blame to the enemies or their teammates, whatever. They fail to take total responsibility for the outcome of the game. Number 3, they find the process overwhelming. They just want the quick fix, the quick answer. They can't find a quick answer as well, so they don't even bother. So they just don't even do the reviews, right? It's like, well, they know there's no quick answer, and they don't want to be bothered to go, they find the whole process overwhelming, so they just do nothing, and they just pray to the gods that they're randomly going to get better at the game. Number 4, they can't accept that the choice they made was wrong because they're too attached to some narrative. You know, maybe, there was a game where that Kale, the one that Kale got really strong, maybe Kale was behind in the early game, or he hates Kale as a champion. And in order to really recognize Kale as a win condition, he would have to recognize that Kale has some strengths and that Kale was maybe the main carrier of that game. You know, a lot of the time, people have these weird invisible narratives about champs or mental blocks, and they fail to see these options, or they fail to accept that the choice they made was wrong because of these underlying mental blocks or whatever they have, or weird narratives with these champions. And a lot of the time, it's really hard for them to accept reality. It is very, very difficult, depending on how deep that narrative goes. And the last one, they just simply don't want to see the consequences of their actions. Therefore, they're not incentivized to change. You know, if any one of us are in one of those games, right? Let's say we go back to the first one with the Vel'Koz and we randomly walk bot over those Shaco traps. We give 1,100 gold worth of shutdowns or bounties, and we still manage to win that game. Do you think many people are going to go back to that moment and be like, I should have maybe not done that, and we nearly lost the game off that. Like, most people are going to skim over it and be like, oh, yeah, yippee, I won the game anyway, it doesn't really matter. You gotta... I mean, this is where it's easier said than done. You know, I'm sitting here. I mean, for most of you, you know, it's really easy to sit here in hindsight say, yes, I will review that situation. But you know, when you're in the heat of it and you're trying to do a 3-block, whatever it is, it's hard, and I understand that. But I'm just really setting it out there. These are the reasons that I've come across with my clients in the Midlane Academy. Now, remember, even if you have no bloody clue on what the most optimal choice is, or even what the second best choice or the third best choice is, it's okay. The process of just trying to think about and visualize what the alternatives are and just trying to come to the conclusion or trying to find the answer is how you get better at the game. Like, even for myself, like, I'm still learning. I'm permanently a student of the game. You know, I might look back at this video in 2 months from now and think about Curtis. You're wrong on all of them. I would have had a different situation. I would have had a different hypothesis. You're always improving in the game, and I don't ever do these things in my own reviews and be like, this is the answer, like, this is it, this is the best choice ever. It's like, well, could be, might be, and that actually makes sense. And a lot of the time when I'm going through this process, I'm just learning maybe a thing or two. Oh, interesting, that's how that champion works. Or interesting, I never thought of that. Oh, I can understand the mindset of that champ now, why they would make that choice. I'm just over time developing a very sophisticated understanding of the mid game. And the last point I want to make, guys, is that over time, the process does become easier. You know, because in a way, you're forever able to kind of cross out options because you know that it's just not realistic. You're never going to do that choice. I have like rules where I try to avoid 1-3-1 at all costs. So 1-3-1 just isn't even an option in my mind. You know, so over time, you know, due to our experiences, we'll get better and this process will be streamlined. And remember, the more champion mastery you have, the easier this will be and the easier it will be to come to decisions. And if you plan to do this sort of review, guys, only do it for the core 2 or 3 pivotal moments into the game. You're not going to have time to sit here for hours and hours on end going over every single decision. Like, here we go, let's play multi-choice here, multi-choice, and get Curtis into another multi-choice here. No, we're going to do it for maybe 2 or 3 pivotal moments into the game, and that is it. Okay? Have a crack, have some fun. Hopefully it gives you gets you to think in a particular way. Otherwise, cheers.
light it up. Lighting the way. been here before.
Shut down. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. Double kill.
If you can smile, you can be the light. everything. Holding back! Pushing my limits. I've never been here before. Blinding light. Everywhere I
Your
go.
turret has been destroyed. The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon. An enemy has been slain.
me. By the light! Shine bright! We can do this!
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An ally has been slain.
Pushing my limits. Stay there. Home is where the spark is. Ooh, I've never been here before.
Shut down. Shut down.
Everywhere I go, follows.
An enemy has been slain.
The world has seen enough darkness. Stuck 'em. If you can smile, you can be the light. Lighting the way.
An enemy has been slain. Slain an enemy. Shut down.
I don't have dark secrets. I have bright ones. Keep believing. No more holding back!
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down. Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain.
Shine with me. We can do this.
team's turret has been destroyed.
Ready to prowl.
Are you ready?
Ready. Let's go.
You have fancy friends.
It's an Uber. Exact.
The Flash, rated PG-13.
Hellman's Spicy. Every squeeze of rich creaminess is deliciously spicy, with a kick of real chili peppers. Irresistible. Hellman's Spicy.
I don't know what people are saying. Why are you frost bolting one guy that no one has aggro on? What? What are you doing? Oh. See, it's like now you got a problem for no reason. Huh? Warrior's backing off, not even grabbing aggro. He wants to, he's thinking about bailing. Yeah, time to drop down in the middle and hearth. One guy died, healer died. Tank's dead. You gotta help him, Cone. There you go, Nova. Good Nova. Jump off in the center and fucking hearth right now. Oh no. They're gonna try to run out of the whole fucking dungeon? Oh fuck, which one was I watching? Oh, there it is. I'm like trying to make sure I'm not dead and shit. Tries to hearth. Doesn't work. Going through a part of the dungeon that's not clear. Catches a daze. Hunter took a lot of damage. Oh, bros, you guys are fucked. They're dead. This is a full wipe. They're fucking dead. This dude needs to jump off that fucking ramp back where this started and hearth. Oh, he just tanked that mine. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, that's horrible, man. Yo, dude, you need to... Yo, you guys gotta jump off the side and hearth, man. You gotta utilize... In Nomergon, when shit hits the fan, the only way you're hearthing out of that bitch is if you make them path far as fuck to get to you. Best way of doing that, drag them up the ramp, drop to the bottom and hearth. You guys can find yourself in a situation in Nomergon, drag them up to the center of the ramp as far as you can, that you think is good enough, jump down, they'll have to path all the way back. You know what I'm saying? For enough time for you to get a hearth off. That's your dead. That was his best choice. That mage. Fall damage? Nah, there's not even. It's not even a big fall at all. That's rough. That's rough. The mage could have got out of that alive for sure. But he's trying to help his boys. I respect it. You know what I mean? Massive respect. For trying to help your dudes. You know. But he started out the fight, you know, single target hitting something that nobody was hitting, had aggro on, had any HP lost on it, right? A little, not the greatest start. He started getting into a better position later on, though. He had some good Novas. But you can make it tough for your tank, man. Vital supplies, is that all the way up here? I was just thinking that it was, that's all. Where's the star? I don't fucking know. Is it up here or not? Let's find out. Ice Sorcerer Androma.
Need help?
This is a 30-minute time quest. You must not log out during this time, otherwise the quest will fail. Okay. I'm trying to find a dude named Angus. That's a rough wipe, man. That's a really rough wipe, dude. Those are painful ones. Those are really fucking painful ones.
What can I do for you?
Set your heart to Stormwind. We're not in... Oh, we are in the innkeep. This is... Where's the innkeeper? XQC refugee shit. I don't know what he's watching. Could be that shit called what? Jubilee? Let's find them. Thank you, brother, man. I appreciate all the support. You have a good one, alright? Sleep well, sir. Yo, Dark Zekin and Azrax, thanks so much, by the way. And, yo, Jade Pasture, thanks so much as well for the support with the Prime subs, guys. Hell yeah. Well, yeah, not exactly all Prime subs. The normal sub on you, Azrax. Appreciate you, brother. Do you get a lot of Forzen viewers, too? I'm sure I get trickles of here and there, but some communities are just a little bit more... They come in like a little bit bigger waves, you know what I mean? So it's completely normal for streamers to share viewers, but it's a little bit less normal for them to come in as big of waves as the juicers do, essentially, and make it apparent. You know? Yo, Kiv, High Vision, thanks so much, guys, for the Prime subs. Welcome, dudes. Thanks for using those here. That's what's up. Appreciate it very much. Jake Farm, Frank Does Funny, thanks for the resubs, too, guys. Much love, ooh, much love. Coming up on 4 years, Jake. Yo, son of a fish. Son of a fish. Thanks for gifting the sub to Riptiz. Riptiz, welcome to the squad, man. Son of a fish. I like your name. Thanks so much. Inez, thanks for the 21 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Bond 007 Fox, thanks for the 2 months. Appreciate it, brother. Oh shit, fucking Chuck died, man. Fucking Chuck. To Curzon sub cheese, Stranglethorn. Damn, he's right up here. I might be able to visit him. I might be able to visit. Wait, I think he died. No, I think he died inside the cave. We have to fight our way in. Fucking Chuck, man. Oh, oh, fuck, dude. I thought that was our boy walking. And, oh, he's not here, though. Wait, he might be down there. He might be down there. He might be down there.
You need something?
We gotta go look. We gotta look. He ain't here. Please. Oh, I'm here to save you, brother. I'm here to save you from anything and everything, like you're the motherfucking president, my man. I got you. We have to kill the dudes that pop out on this guy, right? To save him? Is that how this works? Motherfucker, you can't just run by the tiger. Oh, look at these motherfuckers. Oh, he's about to get jumped. They're like, they pretend to be his boys. Hey, yeah, what's going on? And then they just fuck him up. Okay. I'm here and ready to rejoin. Oh, they jump him! I'm here, bro. What's up, bro? You didn't think I was here? And I'm hella level, dude. Oh, what's up, man? What's going on? Oh! That's right, motherfuckers. That's my boy right here.
How are you? See you around.
Yup. Yup. It may not tell us to do it because it's gray, but we're fucking doing it. I hope it changes into something.
Hey there. Have a good one.
Man, we actually got there at the right time, dudes. You know that's like a 30-minute like window there, I'm pretty sure, to catch that guy doing that.
Well met.
Time is money, friend.
Oh man, this is literally for fucking... This is an SM quest, isn't it? It's a fucking Scarlet Monastery quest, isn't it? It's not? Oh, okay, it's not.
For the Alliance.
I don't think that's gonna get put on my shit, dude. Wanna like... Dude, Nakrosh, dude. Okay, that's what his name was. What did we just get? Bookie. Oh, I'm on a timed quest right now, aren't I? Alright, wait, am I? Oh yeah. Shield Basilisk Haunch. Okay. Let's just go get that shit. I think we're just gonna Hearth. So, we'll come back to this. Dude, I can make this real fast. Okay. We have our Hearth to Stormwind, so it means we just have to go pick one up real quick. Hearth, we're good. It's just one thing. Can't be too bad. Besides, my guy had such good luck with drop rates, dudes. If it's like 1% drop, doesn't matter. Still all good. Yeah, I remember when I was killing you dumb motherfuckers. It's so fucking easy, dude. So fucking easy. Why don't you come inside and hang out, man? What's up, bro? Oh, what's up, man? What's cracking, dude? Trying to go? Oh, you healed, huh? I feel you. I feel you. You healed, huh? Sorry. I hate these fucking medicine dudes. Oh, you thought, man. You fucking thought, dude. What's up, bro? Trying to get crazy? $83 silver for that. Don't mind if I do. Yep, give me a bunch of the useless shit. Now it wants me to go up there. Wait, is that in the cave? I think that's in the cave. Okay, we'll come back. I'm definitely doing that shit. Going in that fucking cave, man. Northeast Warrior. Night Elf Warrior is pretty cool looking with gear. I think they rock the armor pretty sick. The Northeast Warriors. Priest. Colonel Curzon. What? In the fucking cave, too. Motherfuckers, what? You guys are getting mopped up in that cave? At 42? I was in that cave like 5 levels ago. That quest is hard. Oh, we're doing. Ain't hard, bro.
Well met.
I'll show you.
What can I do for you?
I'll fucking show you. Ulpris takes top D. Oh man, Ulpris. Tando, get to bed. Oh man. Ulpris just kind of swooping, just kind of sneakily swooping in there with the donation, man. Thank you, brother. Taking the top. I see you, man. I see you. He said, yeah, man, go to bed. Go to bed. Yo, thanks, bro. I appreciate it, man. That's a lot of money to give the channel, bro. Thank you so much for enjoying yourself here enough to, you know, be willing to donate like that, man. Hey, yo, Scry, thanks so much for subbing here, man. Hey, welcome to the squad, my bro. Hope you enjoy, dude. You too, the House VS, the House Versus. Thanks so much for the sub, sir. Welcome to the squad. Oh, are you elite? You're not elite. Any dude, thanks, brother, man, for fucking your resub of 54 months too, man. Motherfucker, don't knock me off my mount. Resisto. This is Gromgall. Zug. I'd always be waiting for motherfuckers to walk around this area as I came out of Gromgall. Man, PvP in SCU is a lot of fun. Hey! Another percent crit. Hey! You are a level 50 motherfucker. What you're doing there, I don't actually know. Is that guy hostile? Will he fight me if I move in? Probably. He's a leatherworking trainer, so absolutely he would. He's just a normal dude. I'm pretty sure that they would attack me. Oh no, he doesn't. Okay, whew. We're all good there. There's 12 minutes. Invisible, huh? Level 40. That's it? Congrats on 43. Thank you guys for all the grats, dudes. I appreciate it.
I buy and trade.
Okay.
Go with honor.
Alright, it's down here. Congrats on the mount, thank you. I think it's just gonna have us fly to Westfall after this.
Good day to you. See you later.
I mean, dude. That's a good experience. Green Hills. Go to Booty Bay. You made a bunch of money in the half level. I know it's some bullshit, to be honest with you. I'm like fucking needing money so bad for so long, right? 2.5 levels. As soon as I get them out, bro, start slamming. Just tell everybody. Okay. I needed fucking 6 for like ever. Another 15-hour plus stream. I don't think we're gonna go that hard today, but we're gonna, you know, get a good chunk of time in. I'd like to at least be 44 by the end of the night, so. Have you trained recently? The only thing I don't have trained is intercept. It's for 20 more damage, so we're just gonna get that later. Here we go over for it.
Yo found a 39 warrior clip if you wanna check it out.
Let's take a look, see. Panic clicking skills. Do I die or make it out alive? Where's his health? Okay. This guy's beating the fuck out of him. Look at him. Look at him. Look how fast he's attacking. You gotta disarm him. Don't worry about the fucking toad. Oh yeah, he has to leave because the toad's grabbing him. He wants to run. Bro, zoom in, please. Oh no, dude. Wow, that dude was like, yep, I can fucking figure this out. Wall ride the fucking mountain real quick. Doesn't have damage. Oh, they kind of pop up. You're gonna have to pass by him and do the same thing the other way. Do the same thing. Yeah. Hammy him. Hammy him. He has no rage. You gotta get an auto there while he's stunned to get a hammy. What the fudge? Who's watching Zarya? He's tanked a lot of damage so far. I think he lives here. I think he lives here. And he kills him. He went back and got him.
Especially for Zerg, where you have to make a
Hey, how you doing?
With each larva. Is this a Zerglings? That's the correct tense, alright? That's the
People really like to watch videos while they're playing. Like on the second monitor, huh? I'm doing that right now. Well, I mean, I
Have a
understand
good
it.
one.
Skull splitter tusks.
Yeah, what do you want?
Keep it real.
Well met.
Farewell.
Time is money, friend.
What brings you here?
What brings you here?
Farewell.
Need help?
What's up? I got what you need.
You got what I need. When you think you'll do Oldemon? When did I do it last time? I really want to figure out what level I did it last time. Because that was a pretty tough dungeon. I was a little worried about it, so I want to probably go about the same level. ZF is fucking... I'll be honest, dude. I think ZF was easy as fuck on our last run. I can't imagine it would go much different as long as we have somewhat confidence. So. Excelsior! I don't remember. I have to figure out what level I did it at on my last run, because at that Oldemon run and that Zoldemon, or that ZF run, we're fine. So we did it the same way, we'll be good. So I have to go back, watch a VOD. Probably.
Time is money, friend.
Time is money, friend. Yeah, the Goblins got some good lines, man.
Talk to me.
$45? I need to know for sure. Oldemon, that sounds about right, I think, but I have to go back and look. Yeah, I did Oldemon first, then I did ZF, correct. You killed a 49 warrior in Oldemon today? Fuck. Level 46 Oldemon, my guy. Thank you, Arctic. I appreciate you, brother. Level 46. Okay, we'll do that again then. Not this again.
Finally home. Got to meet my online gaming buddies for first time after 13 years. Was honestly a pretty great week. Hope HC's treating you well.
Yes, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Congrats on getting hanged with your boys. Some of the best friends you'll ever have in life is your online buds, you know? Right. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Good to see you. What do you think about doing Oldemon? 46. Just figured that out. I'm gonna go at 46, I think. Because it was a scary enough dungeon that I think we go, I think we go at a significant level. There's some big pools in there. There's quite the pools in there. Well, it doesn't fucking work if you run into a fucking mound of rock.
grow that garden outside. It's finally time to harvest. But there's an intruder lurking just outside your yard. Rabbits are cute until they've eaten all your carrots. Fortunately, there's a new guardian for your garden, Yard Enforcer, Orbit's motion-activated, water-powered pest deterrent. It's humane, no chemicals or traps required. Yard Enforcer, guardian of the garden.
Hey, it's me, your skin, Sunclair.